in form, and we kind of got to see it in game one, but game one does not define a series. You still have to get yourself across the finish line, and as we get into our Champ Select presented by HyperX, we're going to have to see exactly what that game plan is going to be.
Yeah, and I think Ryzes are now sort of on the mind. With the Cassiopeia already taken away and used in the bottom lane in game number one, maybe the blue man is going to be a thought. But HLE just banned the same champions here. They are on the blue side this time around. That was their decision, and it was second pick chosen here by Danny and BLG.
Yeah, I 100% agree as far as Ryze priority right now, skyrocketing. It's another like side effect of bot lane mages being so prevalent. Yep. It's only game 2 in Fearless.
Yeah, stop stealing my picks, Danny.
But also, yeah, fearlessly blocking out the Cassio down there, and Orianna going to remain banned because she's been so high priority.
Your Nocturne still up and available though, yeah. Kobe, if that is going to be the focus. The Syndra banned away as well by HLE because we were seeing a bit of funny business with the Syndra being swapped around as well. So I am curious what this first pick is going to be in that mid lane.
And I think the Ryze gets even a bump from that as well with the Syndra ban. And respect to, yes, it is Night Syndra, but Viper's also been playing it in solo queue in bot lane too, so they could have even flexed it. But yeah, I think that one also puts even more. But of course, you can still play like Taliyah and stuff into the Ryze if you do give it up. It's not the end of the world. There are still plenty of other possible answers BLG could go for.
Mel, also another option if you want to go for it, but they're going to take the other side of the coin and go for this Camille, so trying to take that one away for Delight.
You know what? I also agree. Game 1 had a pretty big support difference.
Yeah, it did.
On was insane, so they prioritized that roaming support, and they are going to have to give up the Ryze in order to do it, though.
And also taking away the Camille from On for the rest of the series sounds like a really good idea when he had a game like he just did, but it gives away the Ryze, like we were saying, incredibly high priority. The Anivia, as far as an answer to the Ryze is concerned, is going to be there. You were mentioning the Taliyah already, so there are some options, but it doesn't feel like a lot of them are all that good at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to say you can also take the Nocturne here for Shun and have a great time. Like the Nocturne being able to support this Ryze in the sideline is an option, but going for the Lee Sin, wanting that early aggression. So do HLE now? Mel, is that the option here to try and pair alongside this? And yeah, maybe, in the jungle there for Kanavi?
Kanavi has played it already this tournament, as has Shun, in fact, but we'll see what they do decide to go with. The Wukong going to be the option instead, or at least considered for now.
Yeah, some AoE to go with your Camille here. I mean, they can build an Annie Wukong combination. It's the synergy.
We love it. Keep it simple, Ryze group. It's Kissinger. We're loving it. All we need is a Rakan from Delight, his signature pick, and this is perfect. Back to basics.
The most common pairing here, and it's like, okay, we'll get some extra AoE with our AoE. Problem is that Ryze has pretty good options for splitting, and Lee Sin is very mobile as well. If you add on another Ambessa here, another solo lane that can gain priority towards sides, you could put a lot of pressure to spread. And Camille she can force a fight. Yeah. You're going to have to still group and force only one area, so you still can get picked apart across the map.
I am curious what Viper and all want to opt into this Camille, though, because you could end up banning the Mel here and just trying to limit that pool for BLG. But we've seen things like, the Caitlyn Elise attempt to be an answer in towards this Mel bot lane if you want to. On very capable of picking up that champion, but then you're kind of in this situation where it is a bit more difficult with trying to land the cocoons, and it hasn't quite worked out, I think, as a lot of teams have planned. So options for BLG, sure, but I think if I'm HLE, I'm trying to limit that with things like that Caitlyn ban in the bottom lane.
I do like the protection, though, this Renekton ban coming on through, making sure that Bin's life is as good as possible towards that top side of the map on the Ambessa. Speaking of on, that is going to be the Alistair taken away. Not necessarily speaking of, I just said the word on. So it's not necessarily
I say just keep going with it. No one's going to question you.
I hope not, because we're going to make that mistake a lot throughout this series.
Okay, so something that's been pretty fun this tournament, but hasn't popped up quite yet. Everyone loves talking about the solo queue picks and the Jax support into the Camille. Hey, the dodge zone of the Shen was already used, so you can't use that. But you could use another dodge zone if you want to get spicy, and we can keep our insane, battlefield of supports going. We'll throw it out there. The likelihood is still probably not that high because you don't have
Nautilus is being banned, though.
Yeah.
The VODs already banned. They're thin in the
better
pool.
and better, Atlus?
Yeah, it certainly is. I don't know whether it's actually going to be the choice. There are still other champions up and available. But let's see.
I will also say on an exceptionally good Rakan, so maybe that's the option for like a Zyra Rakan in that bottom lane to try and set you up easily. But
I love this. It's like you can't play the Rakan. can't, because we're just going to play Leona instead.
I mean, could be the case. This is... We saw it yesterday, at least from Labrov. Could be a decent play here to just try and have solid CC, the ability to start roaming around, try and match some of that Camille in the early stages.
Yeah, Leona very sturdy. They do need some help for face checking here. So
I was weirdly assuming Camille was going top lane, but never mind.
I mean, the flexibility options, Atlus.
Yeah, I got blinded by the Wukong Annie Rakan.
They're limitless. The flexibility options are limitless.
Wait a second, they're picking both of them.
You can literally get away with saying anything is flex. Here we go, baby. All right, so we are still assuming the normal of the Camille bottom lane support, but we'll see here. Leona though, back to the Leona though. I really do think this is such a good pairing with Lee Sin. Because you can have priority on the Wukong. Like this duo, Shun and On, already, their synergy and their roam timers were really good, helping Shun, defend jungle and go for invades. When you have a Leona at your back as Lee Sin, you feel like you can literally do everything. Your engage range is insanely long, and you can really punish.
Oh, Viper. Okay. The Taliyah bottom lane. I remember this, and I'm sad that I do. Yeah, the Taliyah Pantheon back before Fearless. They played it 3 times in a row. The series went 3 games, and they did not pick up a trophy. But this is with a Leona, a different story.
And also against the Camille, that hook shot not going to look so fancy if you're just jumping over a pile of stones that are whacking you in the face.
You're just sort of like tripping over the stones, and then you turn up, I'm here, guys.
I think it works out pretty well, and you've already got so much set up there as well. The Leona working with the Taliyah, the Ambessa, even the Lee Sin. Like, I think BLG have the opportunity to start playing off of a lot of these synergies in the kits.
Yeah. I mean, if Camille tries to go for the engage and Leona just stands there and stat checks you, hits you with the stun into the Taliyah combo, just try and fight him front to back and delete that Camille.
Yep, and somewhere CV Max is sitting down going, I had this idea first in 2019. It was a very long time ago.
2019 mentioned?
Yeah, I mean, hey, hang on. That's getting into tomorrow territory. I will not burden you guys with thinking about that one. I do not want infighting on my desk.
I think tomorrow's going to be more of like a 2023 vibe, actually.
Okay.
No.
This is what I didn't want to happen. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the rift for game number 2. BLG already leading the scoreline there with 1-0. HLE probably still a bit dazed after that first one.
Well, let's see if they get stunned early on in this one, because On walks up, and that combo, if they actually go for anything here, hovering and trying to use On as a little bit of bait. Nobody's going to walk in and face check though. Zeka will hold his anti-stun. On will just hold his skills too.
Yeah, it looks like they were waiting to see if HLE took us some space in the enemy jungle and we're like, oh, we're going to place a ward, maybe cash them out. But it does mean there is a ward already down at the Raptors for Shun. So Kanavi having a bit of information as to what this Lee Sin's up to.
All right, having a look first here towards his bottom side. What is your guys' experience with the Taliyah Leona bottom lane?
My experience is it's going to be Leona stun into EW combo from the Taliyah, and that's about it.
Well, I mean, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah. And I mean, you've got decent wave clear on the Taliyah, right? Like, the only thing is, the Taliyah I kind of want in like a side lane, so that you can kind of play off of the fact she's the Weaver's Wall. But honestly, Weaver's Wall out 2 side lanes to support the Ambessa is going to be pretty good.
There's the hook shot in. Viper taking a lot of damage already. 4th shot picked up there by Guma. Will be able to walk his way back.
Threads the needle right there, though. Being able to get back onto Viper and get a round on here for the engage. And HLE did a good job getting their Bush presence first here, so they get to control the push on in.
Yeah, and, extra bit of vision here removed.
I mean, the burst damage and the value out of Halo Blades, level 1.
Shun is avoiding the ward, though. Cleared out towards his top side now. Moving in towards mid lane. Zeka?
Oh, yeah.
Used his ward hop.
Zeka was feeling safe. Shun is out of the brush for the moment.
Nice
Zeka
ping.
is going to be able to move him down.
Yeah. The blue ping there as well.
Shun wasting a lot of time here, though. So, yeah, going to now be spotted just walking across. So, for Kanavi, you know you're very far ahead of the clear. Is on.
Yeah.
Takes a little bit of a love tap from Delight.
And nice use of the true damage there as well, but does get thrown back by that seismic shove, and so Delight going to have that trade completely equalized by the Taliyah.
Okay, so this time around, you know, going to be a bit delayed for Shun. We'll see if that ends up mattering. You know, Kanavi on Wukong obviously is going to look for the power clear, really wants to get to the level 6, so just get back into the re-clears, but finishing up towards the top side.
Yeah, I'm curious what Kanavi doesn't like the respawn of the timers here for BLG, right? Because an opportunity to go back, spend your gold, then try and look for the Raptor camp that's respawning, or even avoid the recall and just immediately try and invade, because you know Shun is spending a lot of time on this bottom side, and he's in not the quickest of clears in that regard.
Having a look here, the matchup between Zeka and Knight, things pretty Knight favored historically, and the history as recently as last game is certainly going the same way. We'll see whether Zeka can figure it out here, as right now, with the wave pushed up, is actually in a very good spot on the Annie, but still very early days.
Yeah, it is also going to be a little biased. Like, you had Zeka in the LPL, one of the best teams, but there we go. This is the invade we were talking about.
Yeah, Shun going to make his way over. It's going to be a smite fight, secured here by Shun. A few popcorn chickens going to be picked up here by Kanavi, though, as they make their way out. Shun still on the aggression, though, as On moving over a ward. And HLE are able to back away safely.
Yeah, I mean, Shun, at least he does it as East right here, so he secures the big Raptor, but still taking some of the babies there for Kanavi. And Delight was there, you know, very early with the Camille, so they can force that play onto the second respawn of Raptors.
Yeah, he's going to go back over towards his Wolves, which he didn't pick up on his first clear, so then going to move up towards his Krug. So it's kind of in an awkward spot now for Shun, where he still hasn't got this reset, which is giving Kanavi a lot of time in the map where he's not there.
Yeah, and it makes your next reset really awkward as well, because you're just ping-ponging all across both sides. So it definitely incentivizes you to look for ganks or look for invades on your opponent as well, when your respawns are kind of so out of sync like that. But controlling, again, the vision and the roams around mid has been so critical. And BLG had done a pretty good job of that. Delight, of course, trying to get some early moves on the Camille and even up that difference.
As AS actually, Spidey senses tingling here towards the top side, is not going to be walking up towards Bin, and Shun not going to be able to find any gank angle there either. I was actually thinking about saying it, you know, when in doubt, just try and kill someone. But that wasn't even really an option there on that top side of the map. Dragon now coming up, as we will start with the Cloud, as a bear comes down from the sky, and there is a nice Zenith Blade here from On. Gets the cleanse already out of Gumayusi.
He just had the Unraveled Earth used by Viper, though, so there's no real follow-up. To me, this speaks more about, I think, Viper and On trying to get some sort of push on the bottom side, so they could look for Dragon, especially off the back of this Gromp take coming through from Shun. But we'll have to see if that is the case, because you can see there's just no real camps up, apart from the Raptors that are just about to respawn.
Knight having a battle with Tibbers right now. Zeka feeling all right at the moment in the lane, but On and Shun are going to move up just to make sure that Knight is okay. Zeka will lose his bear, 50 gold over to the Lee Sin.
And this is some of that kind of downtime on his own camps for Shun, so, you know, he's looking to scrap instead, looking to create some action. Good job pushing the Scuttle Crab top.
Yeah, I don't know about Zeka's positioning here, as he's in amongst three people. Tempest goes down, and so does the Annie. First blood over to Shun.
Shun found that scrap, Kobe, managing to take that kill in the mid lane. Kanavi does get that crab on the top side, pushing him to level 6. So a little bit of tension in this mid lane. BLG even sending Viper in just to cover in case something went awry.
It's always the fallback. All right, I don't have camps to farm. Let's do something! And I think it might have been some comms about the crab, because Kanavi was pushing crab up to the top, and so Knight was kind of leaning into the river. But if you're getting that close as Annie and checking like that...
Didn't they see them all on the control wood?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
That's what I thought as well. So Zeka thought that maybe he could sneak his way in there, but I think was seen. But bit of an error there from the mid laner. Zeus is also going to miss a cannon. Oh, it's a cavalcade of errors here on the map at this point in time. But Delight going to be going back. It is nowhere near any sort of insurmountable lead at this point in time. Very different to what we saw with those couple of kills picked up in game number 1, but still a decent start here to bail Shun out from a difficult early path in this game.
Yeah, just a little unfortunate for Delight that he didn't actually have any wards that he could have placed a little bit deeper into the jungle there to spot it exactly where Shun was. So at least for the moment, Shun going to stay hidden as he moves back up towards his top side. And Zeus doesn't actually have any wards at the moment, and you've got Knight with the Realm Warp moving, so you can see Zeus immediately starting to back off that top side.
And while we have seen a lot more roaming out of Delight early on, and it seems like, oh, where is On? He hasn't been doing it as much this time. You know, he has been getting an extra level in the bottom side. So he does have that full level lead over Delight with the Leona, even though not as quick as the Camille. Is going to be very scary when you get your ultimate first, because that is a very long range, and if they can blow some flashes, it is going to spell death.
Yeah, you can see, though, the pressure that you have with the Camille and the Jhin on the bottom side has netted at least a nice gold lead for Gumayusi on the Jhin, as been able to push in, now opening up in the mid lane as well, as there is some trading from BLG going on. I don't think they've spotted that Gumayusi could be here yet, so just got to clear the wave.
Yeah, and some grubs going over to HLE in the meantime. Kanavi able to at least grab those, still with a bit of a camp lead as he takes the first one. It looks like there's going to be no contest. But Viper's here towards this bottom side, grabbing some crockery out of this turret. And that should be unanswered at the moment with Jhin clearing out this control ward. The dragon has been begun as well. So even though the grubs will go over to this Wukong, it's not without a cost, as Zeka does find another bear towards Knight. Knight seems not too perturbed. He's still taking some damage.
I mean, honestly, a pretty hefty cost. Going really nice for BLG here. Turret plate money, getting the dragon as well in trade for those grubs.
Yeah, that's why I'm keeping my eyes on the bot lane, because I'm still seeing some of those cheeky HLE wards in behind Viper as he goes for those pushes. Like, they've been so good at TPing Zeus into some of these scraps, almost having that TP available for Zeka as well. So it may be a case of HLE trying to blow open something through this bottom side.
I really, really, really want to see if On can coordinate something to play off his earlier level 6 as well. I mean, he gets it now, and they did see him get it, so maybe nothing too sneaky. But again, that experience difference for supports is so huge in this mid stage of the game, when Leona's roam now can be devastating.
Yeah, I think lucky for HLE that it's 4 minutes until anything is going to be up and available as far as those neutral objectives are concerned. But maybe something that they could fight around, as BLG have been very good at just creating things to fight around, like a blue buff or a red or maybe even a ward. There have been certainly ways to accelerate the game that they've been demonstrating. Exactly, the Krugs have been started here by Jhin. Kanavi and Delight move their way up. Bin is just going to move back towards his turret, and the defense is just too good here by BLG.
Yeah, doing a nice job of just shifting across the map, covering the plays. And honestly, this was the thing that I expected to see more from HLE. Like, I thought they did this fantastically in the series against G2, always catching where Skumon was, making sure you're in position to cover for some of these plays. But at least in game 1, they couldn't keep pace. This game, it's BLG who are actually managing to keep up some of the pressure here. Has been good trade against Zeus. With the public execution, though, a little more difficult to hit on towards Jax, who can just leap strike away.
Yep, Soulflare going to connect, though. That is an extremely dead Delight. And was level 5, I don't think the ult would have helped.
Yeah, in the dirt instantly. It was a really good pick there, right over the wall.
And it was with a solar flare. They found it.
I mean, yeah, it's so hard to deal with, right? It's a lot more simple.
Kanavi able to use the warrior trickster decently there, still has to flash away, holds onto the Cyclone and elects to use the flash instead, maybe feeling like he'd have to use it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you got a lot more roams earlier for the Camille, but he didn't get, kills or assists on them, and so On just kind of played the more stable game, and then once you've got the bigger firepower, that's going to be a big difference.
It's also just how deep the ward coverage has ended up being for BLG versus HLE, right? Like, we've seen those roams, but actually the wards just died on top side, but quite shallow in the BLG jungle, whereas you've got now very deep wards that are littering the bottom side of the HLE jungle, and it gives so much more information over. So as you say, like, the roams were there, but I think the capitalization, what you can do with those roams, hasn't quite happened for Delight.
Well, here towards the top side, Zeus continuing to take a little bit of a battering. That is the Eclipse spike here from Bin in full effect. The Ambessa is just way stronger at this point in time, as we do see some pings towards the bottom side of the map.
And 4 people going top at Bin.
Yeah, there is the Deadly Flourish as well. The curtains are being called. He's looking for Zeus, who flashes out of the way of the public execution. Delight gets in the Hextech ultimatum to take the kill, and HLE are on the board.
The flash forward to make sure that he covered the distance on towards Bin, who's doing his best to get out of there.
At
but
what
still,
cost?
A kill for HLE.
As BLG look to grab some plates here in this mid lane. Zeka moving over just to try and clear these last few minions. We'll be able to do so before too many plates fall.
I will say, one of the very common fallback patterns against BLG, when teams start losing versus BLG, I mean, we did this, Lion did this when we were losing a lot early on. To get back in the game, they were just like, all right, let's look for Bin in a side lane, try and pick off Bin a couple times and add to those isolated deaths. This one is like okay, like you cannot do much to get away from this. Like,
No.
Camille with ultimately a flash on you. The Jhin is walking up lane, hitting the W on you. They're sending 4 people straight to your lane, and it's still towers are still
Ben
up.
asked them really nicely to let him
Oh,
one.
Yeah, that's what I was
think that's a
thinking.
big
I mean,
deal,
it's
you know?
pretty poor form, isn't it? He made a formal request.
Yeah.
Let's 1v1, don't call the jungler. Can you
nicely
call your AD
subjective in
carry
this.
and support, though?
I think he specified the 1v1.
Did he also do a little trash talking beforehand, or
Yeah.
before he was very nice and kind about it? Yes,
It's subjective, you know? It's
true.
It's open to interpretation.
All right, well, Knight here towards this bottom side of the map. Zeka is staying away from this. Ryze will be able to catch that wave before it gets towards this outer turret. Still, it's a 1.3k gold advantage for BLG. They have been able to snowball that small lead that they picked up with the first blood.
I don't think, like, for HLE, though, like, you're too stressed about it. You still got the Camille who's now roaming towards Bin again, who doesn't have flash. And you still have an insane wombo. And you've managed to pick up Void Grubs, which is great for Zeus if you're going to get this Jax fed, right? So it does seem to be that HLE have just adapted the game plan to, as you said, Colby, kill Bin.
Well, they're now looking to try and kill him underneath this turret here, or maybe catch on rotation. There it is, the Eclipse. A whole lot of value, though, as he does flash his way out. The teleport to come through as well, as Zeka is joining this play. They are truly overloading this top side of the map. As now, looking for a turn onto Zeus, perhaps. The rest of HLE trying to now get themselves into position. It's taking them some time, as the Dragon's already gone down on the other side of the map. And there is the kick, flash out at Shun. Guma taken down. And on the other side of the map, he's left hanging.
It's so good for BLG. They defend while they're taking Dragon. They defend the weak side there. On slips in. He's happy to tank the engage. Wait a second. Okay.
Just
At
barely.
least they got the crab, you can say, for HLE. But BLG do so good taking the objective bot and then defending the other side.
Oh, Delight making his way in. There's a Hextech ultimatum onto Viper as Kanavi wanting to make his way in. He will be able to get there, although... Never mind, elects not to go forward.
Engage.
Now On could be in a little bit of trouble. Does have that Eclipse to make him so durable as Kanavi gets the next Cyclone to take down the support. But the Monkey will be traded for it, and Bin picks up the kill.
But it's BLG who've just been using these globals so well. You get the Realm Warp to pick off Gumayusi. Then as you get that TP from Zeus to the bottom lane, you end up with Knight teleporting down to match that play, and it's then jungle for support as Shun able to cover on the mid lane as well. It's this constant rotation to keep pace with HLE.
I mean, BLG, yes, they are setting the pace. They are on fire here. They're the ones calling these plays, and it's 2 Dragons. Not as early as last game. I mean, last game was an insanely early Dragon Soul, but still fairly a quick pace for them.
Well, this is the ridiculous thing, is the fact that I haven't seen HLE get this out-tempoed at all, apart from maybe the LCK Cup, but they were barely even in that tournament.
To be fair, they have 2 of the mid laners that are the most mobile when it comes to map movement, right? Which is definitely
true.
helping out a smidge, because even as HLE went for that top play, Viper was mid and just started walking top lane, which meant they had to cut it off. Now you get Gumayusi, who's Realm Warped on, and Shun, excellent flash kick to set up the kill there.
Beautiful stuff there. The synergy on display. They get the Realm War pick, and then they're defending Viper here. Shun is on a ward, so he's sitting in the sitting there and defending. Now go again.
Yeah, Zeus going to try and leap his way away. Kanavi for the defense. Delight going to be showing up as well. On obviously is right here as well, as the Rift Herald will be given on over, or at least forced to reset. HLE, they need to say goodbye to Zeus, but there's a deadly flourish. That's the pickoff onto On, but he buys so much time. The curtains have been called now as the bullets fly. Delight should be answered though, and Shun so incredibly low, but is going to survive. Public execution is a little private this time, as HLE will back away, but BLG once again, it's them on the objective.
And it's the TP from Bin that gets the members from BLG into position to cover for the play, support for support, but objective control for BLG.
Yeah, they pick up the extra one. BLG had the option there. They're like, okay, we could just keep Bin split pushing, or we can start this playoff on as well, and they just see it. They get the extra objective on top of it, and the Rift Herald will allow them to crack the rest of this outer turrets. I mean, it's 2 turret plates on top and mid and only 1 on bottom, so they can one-shot that mid turret. Bin's gonna take care of the top turret here. The outer ring of defenses for HLE will fall very soon.
HLE want to try and make a play though. Shun trying to cover, but there's so many members. Zeus has to back away.
Kanavi's
It's
just
a
going home.
sneak. Kanavi does not want to. Oh,
Oh,
he got
dear.
spotted.
Yeah, spotted on the Scryer's Bloom. Now looking to try and get himself out. Warrior Trickster comes through. Taliyah is going to try and defend. They want to save the monkey, and it looks like maybe they'll be successful. Flash out of the way of the Solar Flare. Here is Zeus with the counter-strike and the leap strike trying to get himself out. But now, Hextech ultimatum to cut off Knight, and On is the one that they turn on to. The Incinerate helps grab that one, and Kanavi's even able to get out of there.
Shun kicked to try and save Knight, but end up saving Delight in the long run. It's a kill back, and Viper now a low mana needs to be careful, but Bin doing some damage in the top lane.
Yeah, it was a 4v5 play on the other side of the map. You're right. I mean, the instincts are there. Here we go.
Oh dear, more fighting is now Gumayusi down very, very low. Still able to walk it off. Didn't have his flash up just yet, but when the Realm Warp comes through, BLG always making those plays.
The instincts are there, and you don't really blame Shun because you're like, okay, you're always thinking, I'm going to kick this Camille out of her ultimate as the counterplay. And then they didn't really count. They had that much damage. They could have just almost finished and burst instead, but they thought defensively first.
But now it's Dragon in 30 seconds and flash down, flash down, flash down, flash down. It is going to be a difficult fight for HLE if they try and take it, and it's BLG who are already out on the map first to try and look for it.
Yep, and Viper's flash will be available for the Infernal that is coming up. That is going to be Infernal Soul point for BLG if they're able to lock that one down. Now Zeus could be in a little bit of trouble here, and by a little bit, I mean a lot. Solar Flare comes through. The layering of CC is perfect, and Knight is going to grab his second.
Just going to keep up this pressure on the top side. Delight trying to move in towards mid. Viper to cover is spotted, though, crucially.
And again, BLG make a topside play, but they're coming over. They're transitioning to defend the opposite side. Every time they're going to make a play and then still defend the cross map. They're not letting HLE make any of these trades.
Yeah, and Knight is even able to catch the wave in the bottom lane as well. Kanavi, I mean, the best you can hope for is a steal, but I don't think he's coming back from it. And that is going to be that. Soul point picked up for BLG, a clean sweep of Dragons, and HLE are just behind the play, and they have been all day.
Yeah, no trades allowed. They're going to keep them on the back foot and make them watch. Whole top side of the map for BLG accelerated and ahead, and that's just where you want it. You want those solo lanes on their 2-item power spikes, and they are going to be hitting Dagda.
And it's so hard to try and match now on the side lanes because you have a Taliyah mid. Like, the ability for this Taliyah to now influence on these side lanes is basically like she never left the laning phase. So for BLG, they just want to keep up this pressure, and Delight has to run for the hills as a result.
So those strengths we were talking about from Champion Select with those side lanes being able to play the map, but it's also the gold lead in the jungle, Atlus.
Yeah, the Coinbase gold grind coming on through for Shun. After that first blood, he's been able to make play after play on a killing spree right now on this Lee Sin. And it feels like such a lovely game to play Lee Sin, doesn't it? You've got Rune Prison, Solar Flare, Shield of Daybreak, even the Seismic Shove to move them into the right position.
And
man.
And you've got your mid laner realm warping you on their AD carry over and over. Yeah. It's like a delivery service right to Gumayusi's face.
The amount of convenience that BLG have had in this game has just been glorious.
It's very nice to just bring their own barrels to put the fish in, you know, just constantly over and over for Shun. And I think this is where, again, now you have this pressure of, hey, we're going to push mid, Shun's there, now we start to roam over towards these side lanes, and there's one turret plate on the tier 2. You have this Rift Herald to take the tier 1 in the mid lane, and now HLE trying to congregate on mass to mid, and it shuts down the potential for the 2v1 they were looking for in bot lane.
Exactly, and a bit of a Herald ride here, but it's going to be a very short one as Gumayusi is able to help Kanavi take that one down. Now Zeka moving towards his top side, throws the bear down, but Knight is so tanky. Those first 2 items have been put together. He is still going to respect the Annie as he does Realm Warp away. Impossible to interrupt without that passive stacked up. Zeka will hit level 13 at least, but he is still pretty far behind.
Yeah, the 1-3-1 is great from BLG. They keep up enough pressure towards mid and top side to get both towers using the Rift Herald here, making the escape. And I mean, I'm just thinking back to what you're talking about is, you know, Guma's like, well, I might as well die. It's like that SpongeBob meme where he just jumps in the grave. I'm seeing the realm warping the Lee Sin onto my face. All right, great. Well, time to jump in the grave. But at least he was able to walk to his minion wave the second time around. We'll see if he is able to survive the next one, as the play topside from BLG is looking pretty good.
Yeah, Weaver's Wall available here as well. There's the kickback onto Kanavi. Solar Flare going to connect onto Zeka, but only for the slow. Kanavi's still going to die though as Shun blocks that one down as Zeka flashes over the top, sidesteps very nicely, but he's still dead, ladies and gentlemen. Bin locks it down. BLG are just so mobile, and now they're able to move over to the Baron if they'd like it.
BLG are just everywhere in this game. And the big purple worm is only going to make things worse for HLE in keeping these towers safe.
I mean, we were saying during game number 1, all right, getting smashed in the first game doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to continue in the series and you're going to get smashed again. Well, you might not get smashed in the same way, but BLG still are just looking so much better.
And
it feels pretty similar, to be honest.
And the guy you tried to shut down has nearly a 2,000 gold lead, now wants to pick up Delight to really make it that much worse.
Delight gonna flash away, but Zeus may not be as lucky as Bin moving towards the minion wave. Zeus fighting against On, feeling better about that one, as Zeka is booking it towards his bottom side, throws down the bear, but Shun gets on in there. Delight finds a Hextech ultimatum. It's taking them everything to take down Bin, and they're still not able to get it. Finally, he goes down, but at what cost, ladies and gentlemen? As Knight's able to kill Zeus as a response, another Realm Warp gets in there. Gumayusi playing defense. He might be able to keep them alive for a little bit longer as the threaded volley from Viper, not able to do too much, and the flick back onto his former mid laner. Oh dear, HLE, I think it's all about whether they can also get themselves a reverse sweep.
It's looking that way.
It is not over just yet, as Gumayusi's gonna have to flash and use everything to get out of the way of the Weaver's Wall.
Viper wanted to add one to himself there, but not quite able to do so. As BLG, I mean, this is so impressive. This is the BLG that we got to see domestically, that people were questioning in playoffs, but it has finally made it to Daejeon.
All right, let's take a look at this one. They attack the side lanes first. On and Bin are here early, and then the teleport at the arrival of Shun goes for the kickback play onto Zeus. Bin survives for a long time, as you pointed out, Dagda, even inside the Hextech ultimatum, that they overreach for him and they can't get back after extending this deep.
And there's the Realm Warp to help just jump onto Zeka's head. This Ryze is so tanky. Viper on the side. And even though it may be in Korea, Viper's from Daejeon. He's got that home crowd advantage still there for him.
Oh dear, there is the Dragon Soul as well. Infernal Soul picked up for BLG. 8,000, I mean, it's the same game as game 1.
I mean, the coaching staff celebrating early, but I would say, actually, it's not even early. I'd say it's right on time.
Yeah. I think they need to do the celebrating now, because they might just plan on how to do this in the next game very soon, as well as Viper getting out of the way of Zeus the best he can. Kanavi trying to cyclone his way to safety, but everyone is getting attacked from every angle possible. And Zeus is just like, well, get me the heck out of here. Viper knows exactly where he is, throws him towards Knight. The gift that keeps on giving is BLG. They're the Harlem Globetrotters today.
It's absolutely insane. There is no keeping up with this team right now for Hanwha Life. And honestly, like, this is...
Viper is everywhere. Like, wasn't he just top lane? What is he doing down here?
You've got
they're catching him between the turrets in the mid lane. Zeka gonna get thrown back, delivered to Bin. Oh my goodness, that looks like a strategy people use in co-op versus AI.
I mean, this is crazy, Atlus. The BLG are making the #1 LCK team actually look like bots.
Yeah, like they just cannot respond in time. This is unbelievable from BLG. They're now looking for this inhibitor turret in the mid lane. They're realm warping to the top lane. They are attacking every single front. And HLE just don't even really know where they're getting hit anymore. The Solar Flare going to connect onto Gumayusi. He's backing away. And at least they know that when the Nexus turrets are under fire, that is all that BLG are going to be hitting, and so they can be in the area for it.
But you've got Zhonya's, Seeker's Armguard, GA for BLG. You don't have to do it once, you got to do it twice to find the magic for HLE, and Bin is fishing.
Well, Zeus looking to see whether he can at least stay alive against this, but On is moving over. There's the counter-strike. Viper in a little bit of trouble. As Zeus trying to keep himself alive. Kanavi is going to be able to get out of there. The question is, can anyone else? As Delight is basically dead to start this one off. He does manage to get Viper in the back line, but that is all he's going to be able to claim. The last shot from Guma doesn't do anything at all, and he's desperately trying to defend. 2 inhibitors down at 27 minutes, and BLG, they'll just go back and spend their hordes of gold.
And HLE, they're probably already, wait a second.
Yeah, Knight in a little bit of trouble perhaps as Kanavi gets over there. Doesn't waste any time, uses the Cyclone immediately. There's the double knock-up to come on through, but Knight just kills him.
Yeah, Knight's never alone, it seems like this game. He is forever having someone there to help him.
I think even if he was alone, I mean, he was a 606
Ryze
level
17, big shield, big damage.
Yeah, ready to actualize.
Fellas, it's time to start talking about the conspiracy theories.
Okay.
All right, what's this? We putting the tinfoil hat on?
Because HLE, this whole tournament, you know, they've been focused on 3-0s and showing as little as possible in their stage time.
Yes,
and
go on.
this is a double elimination, you know, tournament. So
got it.
they're looking to just get out of this series as quickly as possible? Question mark? Like, what in the heck?
Do they know
The thing is-
that they will have to then do this again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they do manage to get round through the
And
low
also, sure, BLG have shown a lot, but like,
I mean,
there's
actually,
so much
I think-
they've shown. I don't even think it matters.
I think it makes it worse. They've shown that they're just way
They can do
better.
everything. Yeah.
This is actually insane that it is stomping this heavily 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, we could say don't be a game 1 Andy as much as we want.
Don't we?
We're in
Don't
game
be
2.
a game
Don't-
1
don't be
Andy.
a-
I can't say it actually.
Don't
apparently.
be a game 2 Billy. What happens if game 3 is the exact
Game
same?
3
What the-
Stuart. Okay, well, BLG are looking for an angle, and Bin will find one, gets into the backline, eliminates Gumayusi there. Zeka died at some point in that play, but I didn't quite see it. And there is going to be the Cyclone on tonight. He's going for it. If at first you don't succeed, you're not going to succeed in this series, as BLG will wipe them from the rift, and it feels like mercy here in game number 2, as Viper just teleports in, looks to get rid of this last Nexus turret. And gentlemen, I think this is the quickest we've made it to a match point so far here at MSI, and it's in the winners final.
I mean, the question is, what's the quickest 3-0 we've had at this event? Because BLG are looking like they want to break us.
My goodness. I've got some whiplash. I'm going to solve that as we throw it over to the analysts.